Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5. In the last episode on UI5, we started with the custom control introduction. In today's session, we will go ahead and see how can custom control also help us not just to create our own control, but to also extend an existing SAP UI5 control inside of SAP UI5 library. So to demonstrate this scenario, let's take a typical example of a control which is a standard control available in UI5. So we have a button control as part of SAP UI5 which is present. So for example, sap.m.button control, we have it which is present in SAP UI5 framework. We have this button control available, guys. Now what I'll do is I'm going to use this button control, but we all have observed by far that when we have such a button control available in SAP UI5, it doesn't support me for couple of events. It only support for press event which gets called whenever we click. So other than that, it doesn't do anything else apart from this. So except the click event, there is nothing else which is supported by the button control inside of SAP UI5 right now. So what I'm going to do is there is a need in this case now to also support an additional event like mouse over for the button. So what is this mouse over? Mouse over is nothing but whenever user takes the mouse onto the button, it should fire an event. Okay. Now this functionality is not available with SAP UI5. What do we do about it? SAP UI5 doesn't become a bottleneck for developer. This is what we have learned by far. This is our experience says, and that's what we are going to realize now. We are going to extend the standard SAP UI5 button now. For that, it's very simple. Take the class which you want, m.button. Dot extend is what you can call, because you are inheriting from this parent class and creating your own child class. And now you can give the name of the button what you want to create, the button class, new button class. And what it does, it automatically inherits everything what's there at the button level inside of your class, your implementation. So you're gonna get everything for free. Yeah, everything for free. So whatever is there in the base class, the button class, like press event, label event, everything you get for free. And here you're gonna have whatever you like extra can be added. This is the whole setup what we have it in this system. So let's get started and create our new library for this custom button which we want to add. So on the other day we started with custom control chapter. We created a custom control into JS file. I'm just going to run this quickly. We had created a control for heading and we saw how does it behave. And now what we will do is we will just go ahead and create a button control. Now those who did not attended the weekend session, extra session which was conducted, the video recording is already available. You can go to our training blog and you can come down and you would see there's a video recording for custom control already in place inside of our training blog. So please refer that, guys, very important. If you did not attended the session the other day, because of that you may not be able to understand a little bit of things inside of this. But however, let's continue and just create a new custom control JS file, and I'll say super button. I'm just naming it as super button class. And as usual, we're just going to first define scaffolding and function. curly braces, and now inside of this we're going to define our custom control. Now as part of scaffolding we have a dependency on standard button class because that's what I'm going to inherit from. So SAP M button is the super class which I'm putting as a dependency here, and I say button, and what I'm going to do is I'll say this button dot extend because I'm inheriting from super class. So what I will do now do is put the button name and also put its properties according to what I need. There are always three sections as part of any custom control which you want to define. So first section comes is your button dot extend me the button name. So I will name it as super button, and then I put comma, curly braces, and now inside of this we have metadata. If at all there is a change required, you have init function, you have renderer function. So for renderer function, I am going to provide an empty implementation, and then watch it carefully. We are going to use a standard JavaScript event supported by JavaScript controls. So there is an event called on mouse over. Okay, this is a standard JavaScript event. We had also learned about it in our JavaScript chapter. That this event will get called whenever user take a control on any HTML element. So this is a standard JavaScript reference event which gets called whenever somebody takes mouse onto the particular control. So we're going to attach to this one. We are taking help from now core technologies, JavaScript technology to support this newly added event. So we are going to add our custom event and going to propagate and map that event with this on mouse over standard event. So let's do that. So I'm going to come back here and I'll say on mouse over, and then just put a function at front of this, and let me also define a metadata. So I'll just say on hover. I just give a event name or on focus. Like that's a just a custom event name I'm giving, guys. I will just put it in empty one, and then what I'll do is I'll say whenever on mouse over standard JavaScript event is triggered, system should fire this dot fire on focus. This is what system should do. So whenever as any person takes the mouse over the control, this is a standard JavaScript event which triggers. As a result, we are propagating this call to on focus, and this would then probably call some function which is available. So this function which will be defined by user, and that's your custom event which user will foresee in your custom control super button. So let's go ahead and experience it now. It's very easy to now use this custom control which you had created by extending a standard control. So I'll come to our view. Let me create two buttons. One is a normal button and one is a super button. So let me put first the library XML namespace. No need to put written here. This is the syntax. So if you attended the last class, in that I already showed the syntax. You don't need to put written, but written into definition of a custom control. Okay, so now I'll say btn and I'll say Fiori. That's my namespace dot custom, sorry, super button. Now first thing which we will do is just put a normal button from SAPM library just to show you text. Click me, and I'll just say on, sorry, press event, and I'll say click me. So it only and only supports click event, guys, nothing else. So now if I come here and go to main controller, just do it over here. and I say alert or sap.m dot message box dot confirm this is natural sap button. Okay, so that's what I put, and this dependency of course has to go on top, not here. I say msg box, and here we should put this dependency. Done. Let's go and test it. Sorry, this is a natural button. Let's execute it. So a natural button gets created, which we all aware of. When you click on this, you see it's giving me a pop-up. That's absolutely fine in nature, but you see when I take my mouse onto this, there is literally no event available. Nothing happens when I take my mouse onto this. Okay, because SAP UI5 standard button doesn't provide me any feature where or an event which triggers when I take my mouse onto the control which can trigger. It doesn't do that. Hence I've extended it and created my own button class, which is called super button now. So we're going to use our namespace once more, and the namespace is XML namespace. Actually, no need to give this guy, because you see custom control is the library which has the library, the folder which has all the controls. So the namespace is okay Anubhav. So that's my namespace, and now inside we have a super button, and I'll give a text and I'll say super button. And you remember we created a custom event called on focus. What should happen when user focus, and I'm just using click me only, the same event handler which I used in the another one. So now watch carefully what will happen when you take the mouse onto it. Okay, whenever you take mouse onto the control, onto your button control, system would trigger this event. Let me be very sure it's on focus. That's correct, the event name, absolutely correct event name. Anubhav is the namespace, which is nothing but the folder path where all my controls exist. And I have a super button class. So super button class, it's here. Okay, everything looks okay. Save this. Let's come back and refresh. You're going to see a new button. Oops, it's not creating. There is some problem. What has happened? Let's be very sure. Button.extend. We have to just say return button.extend. That we didn't do. Yeah, sorry. We have to say return button dot extend, that we didn't do. So return curly brace is not required, but return button dot extend is required, that we didn't do. And if I come and refresh, oops, everything goes away. No. So how did we create it the other day? We just created metadata. Yeah, no return. Yeah, sorry, no return was required. uh, Renderer, there is a typo, guys. You see the renderer method name is incorrect. Yeah, sorry, and I corrected it. Thank you. And let's come back and refresh the page. Now it's not displaying my button. There is something wrong going on. Let me just check very carefully. So we have metadata and we have on focus, which is a newly defined. So now the problem is this on focus is an event. Remember, in metadata we have three sections: properties, events, aggregations. So we have to put it inside events actually. So come here inside of events, let's put it, and let's come back, refresh the page. Again it's not working, there is some problem. Fire on focus on mouse over, that's what exactly should be the code. Let me just be very sure what's going wrong. So ideally it should print a button on the UI. This is our custom control we created by extending it metadata events, and we have defined an event called on focus. And whenever user do on mouse over, this on focus gets called. Why it's not taking this correctly. There is some problem. There is something I'm missing. Let me be very sure. Did I put it correctly here in the page? So Anubhav super button is the class, text property and on focus property. This all looks fine. It should ideally work. It should ideally work. What is the problem? There is something wrong. We are missing. Any guess? What is that which we are doing wrong? There's something wrong which is missing for sure. So Anubhav's text button, that's correct. I'm not really sure what is that wrong which we are doing, which is causing this issue. There is some or the other thing we are missing. Let me just check quickly. What could be the possible issue? Ideally, it should have worked, guys. So very first thing is button dot. Let me again check this. So we will just go to super button class, button dot extend, and my code. Let me just check here. Yes, you see guys, the name is incorrect. In the name the other day we have to give the full path, but here in the super button we didn't give full path. The full path is fiori dot custom control dot super button. That's I think the mistake. Yes, okay, let's come back and refresh, and voila. So you see this small mistakes which we very often even I do, but I need to be very careful while writing this. I need to understand the rules of the game, and if I follow that, automatically it will work. Now watch carefully. When I take my mouse onto the button, and voila, you see I didn't even click on the button. The moment I take my mouse onto the button, it has caused the event handler trigger. Yeah, so that's the beauty of UI5. It doesn't become a bottleneck for developer. Even so, here when I'm taking my mouse, nothing happening, I have to click. But here when I take my mouse onto the button, it's triggering it, which proves that there's something which is not supported by UI5. For a particular control, you can extend it and build your own control, guys. Clear, everyone, what exactly a custom control feature is? So now coming on back onto the same concept of custom control, we will see what if we have something called Google Map integration needs to be done. Now SAP doesn't provide a Google Map integration directly. They provide a map library with which you can create maps, absolutely no doubt about it. There is a map library with which you can create maps, but they don't provide features like Google Map integration directly. So now here we will create our own custom control which points to Google JavaScript API and build a Google map inside of our Fiori application. And for that, I'm going to use custom control. At the same time, I also received one question on email from Raj. So Raj is following my tutorials from video, and Raj is saying, Anubhav, custom control is a very good concept which you have taught in the last class. Thank you so much. But we want to also see, can we use these custom controls in JavaScript views as well? If yes, how? So that's why we have already seen creating custom control and using in XML view, guys. So you can see here already we are creating custom control. Creation is always using JavaScript, guys, remember, but we are using in XML views here. Okay, XML views already. Now the question from Raj is, Anubhav, can you also show an example where we use the control, custom control inside of a JavaScript view? So maybe I will take this opportunity to answer this question together with Google Map integration. So we'll create a JavaScript view and see how can we use custom controls inside of JavaScript views. So let's go ahead and try and achieve this. Now, before we get into it, we need to understand what is Google Map integration. So Google provides a lot of JavaScript APIs. You make a call to these APIs and you get the necessary results. Just the way SAP is providing you a JavaScript library called UI5. So UI5 is essentially a JavaScript library, isn't it? So you just call the UI5, you call this UI5 framework from here. And when you call this, what as UI5 does, it gets loaded in the browser. It's a JavaScript library, see, .js file, just like jQuery. So it's a .js JavaScript file or a JavaScript library which has all the functions, classes, sub libraries and stuff like that. So similarly, Google also provides a library to create maps. Okay, so we have to first, what is the first step which we did in order to use SAP UI5 library? Anybody? What is the first step? In my first video I taught you what is the very first thing which you need to do to be able to work with UI5 library. What is that you need to do? Every one of you need to do as a must to get started with SAP UI5. What is that you need to do? You need to load resources. Absolutely. You need to do bootstrapping. Absolutely. So we did a bootstrapping here. You see this is a bootstrapping code to load UI5 framework. Similarly, if you want to reuse any other library, we need to declare the bootstrapping for that, isn't it? So now here we are planning to use Google Map integration. So we will have to include the Google Map library over here. So again, it's script tag src property, and then inside of this I'm going to get the path for the Google Map library which I'm going to use. So that's one important thing you have to put it, guys. Okay, so that's one important thing you all have to put it to be able to use the Google Map integration library. Clear? So where is this library? Where do we get it from? All that we will discuss now in a minute. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So Udit has a question, but manifest.json, did we load Bootstrap when we don't use index.html? So manifest.json, the moment you put it, system would automatically know that it's a UI5 project. And in the manifest.json, it knows that it has to load which UI5 version. You see in the dependencies, we have put minimum UI5 version it has to load. Similarly, in manifest.json, if you come here and if there is a dependency on any other external JavaScript file, you can also give that. Let me show you. There is a possibility where we can give dependencies on other files, other JavaScript resources. So let me come down and you see here resources, and you can add a dependency now here of any other JavaScript or external CSS. See, it's asking now a URL. Where is your CSS file, external CSS file? If you put JS, it's asking the URL. So here you can give Google Map library, JavaScript library also. But since in this example, the current example which I'm taking, I don't have manifest.json. I didn't create it using component JSON stuff just to make it ease for you. That's the reason I am putting it in directly in the script tag. Clear? So, however, when you have a manifest JSON, the dependencies of JavaScript and external CSS files has to be kept inside of manifest only. Manifest is the single point of contact for all the dependencies because there is no role of index.html. Currently, to make it simple for your understanding, I am going with this technique. However, in real world, you always put your dependencies, be it on JavaScript, any JavaScript library inside of manifest JSON. So that system would load it automatically in the browser. Clear? So now, where is this JavaScript library for Google Map? So let's search for Google Map JavaScript library. Okay, JavaScript API. And you see the first link itself where Google Map JavaScript API is live for Google developers. And now if you come inside, you see a lot of nice beautiful tutorials they are giving. Okay, you can see them all. You can directly go to now references and samples to have a look at how does this library works, what are all the classes this library offers, just the way SAP Wi-Fi framework offers you sap.m.button. Similarly, this also offers you classes to be able to work with maps. So maybe I'll say simple map. The very first thing is you need to refer the library. Okay, how do you refer the library? So you see code snippet here. Now you see this is the piece of code to be able to refer the the JavaScript library which Google provides for Google Map integration. Okay, and now it's not for free consumption. You can see pricing and plans. If you're planning to consume it for productive usage in your company, you got to pay to Google, and there are different payment options, be it for any of the reason. And now we all have used Ola cabs or Uber cabs for travel purpose. You see there's an option called asset tracking. So this is what Uber uses for their tracking of cabs, for the tracking of their all the other assets, their cars and stuff like that. So this is again a Google Map integration API which Uber have integrated inside of their Fury app. So you see there are a lot of pricing options about what type of API you want to use. However, there's one free for anybody to use, for which you need to just give a simple registration to the Google. So in your company, if you are planning to use, go for paid one, don't go for free one. However, you can go for free one. I'll show you now going with free one. So maybe I go back and I come here, and you see this is the bootstrap for Google JavaScript API reference, and I see it's asked me for your API key. So let me create an API key. So click on this, and you see I had already created a couple of API keys. It's very simple. Just say insert, okay, or there will be a create option which you will get it. Just click on create option, and then after that you click on insert button, and API key is granted to you for free. Now with this API key, Google tracks you. Google knows how many times you have used it. And then maybe after certain number of times, they will stop your access if you are using it for productive usage. But if you're using for practice and trial purpose, there is no problem. You can go ahead and use it. Since we are going to use it for demo purpose, it's absolutely okay. So now I take this reference, copy this JavaScript reference. Remember, you have to insert your key here. You have to create a project first. Right now I'm not getting create button here because I've created already many projects. So click on create, give any random name whatever you like, and click on insert. After that your API key will be inserted, and now you take this bootstrap, copy this. Don't copy the complete part, callback, init map and stuff like that. That we don't need it. We just need this part. I'm going to place it inside over here, okay. And now you see this is my map reference. Wow. Now what do we do next? Okay, we will just go ahead and watch carefully. First, just load our application and see if it has got Google resources loaded or not. So go to sources. So by far you see in the system, in the sources, what it has loaded in browser is only local resources and SAP UI5 resources. Now watch carefully. I just do a refresh to check and ensure that Google resources are also loaded. I refresh, and voila, you see the third one, maps.google.apis.com, is also loaded. In the maps API you can see JavaScript authentication key, and then maps API you can see there are different JavaScript files inside it. Okay, so this is how the Google Map API gets loaded. This is a proof that your bootstrap successfully worked. It has loaded the JavaScript API for Google. Clear everybody? How do we check it? Okay, clear? How did we check it? So that's cool. Fine. So let's continue. So now what we do is we will just go ahead and consume just the way you loaded UI5 references, and UI5 offers you different libraries. You can see sap.ui.commons, sap.m, all these libraries UI5 is offering you. Similarly, Google is also offering you the classes which you can use to create something. So I'm going to design now a custom control. So let me just go ahead and create a custom control which is going to bring a map for us. Okay, which is going to bring a map for us, and probably I will do it in a second view. So I'll just come back here quickly, and I will create a new view. So right click, new, and I'll choose view, and this time I'm going to use JavaScript view because there was a requirement from Raj. So Raj, you can see this will fulfill, I guess, hopefully your requirement, how to use custom controls in JavaScript views. And I'll just use namespace. What namespace I gave last time? I gave it as, I guess, Fury. Yeah, I guess Fury is the namespace we gave. So let's new view, and I choose a JavaScript view now, and I say Fury is a namespace, and I'll say the view name is my view as, let's say, map, or I say track your LOC, and I say next, and yeah, finish. A JavaScript view got created, and it's just we got to go and instantiate this JavaScript view. So just come here and change the view name to track your LOC, and the view type is JS, JavaScript view. Save this, and now let me execute, and you see the title is coming on the top. There's nothing inside. Now what I'll go do is I go to my JavaScript view, and I will just come here inside of JavaScript view. You can see it's loading the app object. Okay, it's actually, you don't need to load app object because app object was already, I guess, loaded inside here. You see app object is already loaded here, so we don't need app object, we just need page object, and that page object we will return out of this view. So let's use page object, and now say Google World, and I will just create here two things. First thing which I'll create is new sap.m dot search field to search something, and then I'm just going to use a custom control here. So let's design our custom control. Now the beauty of JavaScript views, guys, you don't need to probably go and externally put that custom control logic into external file. You can also put that directly here. So what is that we are going to do? Actually, we will create a, we had already created a view. This is your view. Okay, this is your view. Inside of this view, now I'm going to add a canvas area. I'm going to add an area inside of my view, and this is the area where my map will be displayed later point of time. So in this area my map to come. So this is nothing but a div element I will be creating inside of this system. So here a div element will be created, guys. When I create a custom controller, div element will be created, and then I am going to write some JavaScript code to call the Google Map API, which is available on internet. So this is Google Map API, and I'm going to tell this API, boss, can you do something for me? Okay, so this my custom JavaScript code is actually going to call the Google Map, and I will tell this Google Map API, please load a map inside my area. Okay, and I have to give an ID to this this div tag. Let's say I want to give an ID called Anubhav to this. Okay, so what I'll say is, to this Google Map API I will tell, can you load a map for me in this particular area? And then Google will, what is that Google expect from you to pass? What do you think, what Google would need from you to be able to load a map? What is that Google needs from you to be able to load a map? Anyone? What do you think? What is the input to this Google Map API? There are a couple of inputs. The very first input Google will ask you is where to load your map, right? So anybody, what is your answer? Where to load the map? Can anybody tell me? Where to load the map? What will you tell Google when Google asks you where to load the map? You need to say this canvas area, which is your div element. Okay, this is your div element. So div element ID you need to tell, and in not just ID, you need to give an object of your div. How do you obtain an HTML file, HTML event, HTML control object? Anybody? Which API you will use in JavaScript to obtain HTML object of a control? You all have forgot which API to use to obtain HTML object. Document.getElement by ID. Yes, document.getElement by ID you will use. With this, you will just tell the system what is the object of this HTML element. That's the first thing which we need. The second thing which we need is we need the address, right? Isn't it? Now tell me, guys, those who have learned schooling days, the globe, the maps, and the atlas. We had a subject called atlas. How do you recognize a location on a map? What is that you need to recognize location of something on a map? Anybody? What is that you need to identify location on atlas or on a map? What do you need? Anybody? Longitude and latitude, absolutely. So you need to give location to trace or to put your map at that location, and you need latitude and longitude. Okay, this is what also you need to pass to the API. So the map, when it is initialized, the map will display you that location by default inside of your canvas area. So these two things we need it. Let's go ahead and now try this JavaScript code. So first let's create a custom control to create a canvas area. So I'm creating a custom control, sap.ui.core.extend, sorry, control.extend, super control of entire SAP UI 5. And now inside this I will say my Google map is the control name. Okay, that's my control name. My Google map is my control, comma curly braces. And now we will just define my control. So metadata section, like I discussed in last class, first section metadata. If at all you need init function and then renderer function. Now inside of renderer, we have two default objects, ORM and OControl. And what I'll do is I'll just say ORM dot write, and I will say just write a div element with an ID called Anubhav. That's what I'm started writing. ORM dot add style, and let's add width property. I'll say 90% of the page. So I'm putting some CSS guys to make it look nicer. The canvas area I'm drawing. Canvas is nothing but your div element actually, which will be a container for the map. Okay, in that container the map will be displayed. So height is, let's say, 500 pixels. Okay, yeah, single quote is missed, thank you. And then we have ORM dot write styles. Okay, after that just close the control, right, just end the div element. So you would see now a div element will be displayed to you on the screen. Just to make it, since it will be empty by default, I'm just going to also add quickly a border area for this. So ORM dot add style border, 2 pixel solid red. I save this, and yeah, we are done. So now somebody who use this control, it will display canvas area for them. So let me just say new, my control name. That's it, guys. Beautiful. So we have added a search field and a Google map control for our consumption. Clear, everyone? What did we do? We added now a new object of this. However, it's just giving you an error. That's completely fine. You can proceed with this, and let's execute it. You should see a search field. And do you see a red color area on your screen? Anybody, do you see a red color area on your screen, which is representing your canvas area? Absolutely, yes. This is the area you see. This is the red color area which got created. What is this area? What is the purpose of this area? Anybody, why did we created this area? What is the reason why we created this area? What do we do now? To hold the map. Absolutely. You bring in a car to your house. If you are bringing a car, you don't have a parking space, where will you park it? So similarly, you need a container, an area where once called from Google, so Google will now send a map, and you will tell the Google where to send this map. Google will put the map inside this container. It's your map container. Okay, just a natural div element actually. So now come back, and what we'll do is I will write some JS code for this purpose. So we will be writing a JavaScript code to be able to display the map by calling the library, by calling the Google library to be able to display it. Okay, this is what we will do. So it's very, very simple. What we will do is we will just go to the Google, we will invoke the Google library, and we'll tell the Google to display a map for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and try achieve this. So what I'll do is I will just go to on after rendering method. Okay, so I will go to on after rendering method of our main controller. I guess this is the one. Yes. And I'll just put on after rendering. What is why on after rendering? Because once my view is displayed, after that only I will invoke Google, because I can be rest assured that by this time my canvas area is available on the UI. If you try to call the Google Map API before this, there is a problem. The problem is system will not know the Google Map. System will not know the canvas area. You can be rest assured that if you're calling an after rendering, which means by now the canvas area is already present on the screen. So Google will have no problem in putting the map inside this area. And I will also use a global variable. I don't want to pile up memory. I don't want to really you know destroy my memory by again and again creating this object. So I create a global variable, o map equals to null. And now inside this I will just check if this is already created. So I say if this dot o map is null already, then I'm going to create it, otherwise I'm not going to create it again. So on after rendering gets called every time you load the view, every time you come to the view in navigation. So that's also kind of safeguarding yourself to be able to not recreate map every time. And now I'm just going to create a variable called loc location, which will have latitude and longitude. So latitude lat, and maybe just put some random location 20.5937, any some random location. Longitude, and just put some random location again. I don't know what location it will take it. So something I'm putting, I don't even know what is it. And now I will say this dot o map, initialize my map. And watch out, what do you use to create a button in UI5? Anybody? What do you use to create a button in UI5? New sap.m.button, isn't it? Right? This is what we use to create a button in UI5. Here we are going to create a map from Google. So we say google.maps.map. Okay. This is what we use. And now we have to pass two arguments. First is your object of your HTML element. So document.get element by ID, and I'm going to pass my element ID as Anubhav. That's my area's ID. So its object will be passed, comma, curly braces, and now we will pass zoom level of the map, at what level it should zoom the map. And then we will also pass center property, and in this we will pass our LOC, location where it should center my map by default. Okay, so that's what we are doing. We are done with this. I save this, and the map will be displayed because you pass the address where the map will be displayed to Google API. Google API does everything for you. You just have to tell the location, zoom level, and the location where it should be mapped. The map should be displayed. That's it. It's so simple. And let's come back, refresh the page. Oops, nothing happens. There is something wrong. There's something wrong. Press F12. Are we missing something? So let's come back and check. No, we don't see any error in the console as such. So what is the mistake? I think I'm missing something. So this .o map, if it is null, then just create a new google.maps.map object. And the first argument is pass document get element by ID. ID of my element is Anubhav. Let me be very sure. Is this the ID of my element? In my view, I'll go and check it. Okay, where is the ID? Yeah, we've given ID as Anubhav. That's absolutely okay. You can also come and check that up here. Inspect the element and see the ID of the element. You see it's Anubhav. So that's absolutely fine, guys. There is no problem in this. So that's the object we are passing, comma, zoom level, center. We're passing our LOC variable to be able to display this. Ideally, it should display my map on after rendering. Let me put a debugger if it is calling this. Come back. Sorry guys, you see, I have written the logic in main controller, which belongs to a different view. That's what happens. That's why I don't keep too many files open. I cut it now. I cut it now. I should write it in the controller of track your location. This is where I should write it. Sorry, my bad. That's why I don't keep too many files open, because you end up sometimes writing code in a different controller and then you keep on looking, you will not find an answer. Let me close everything. Just open these twos which are relevant for me. Now come back and hopefully refresh. Beautiful. It takes me to India. Wow. I'm lucky that I remember my country's coordinates. So it directly takes me to India. And that's what Google Map integration is all about. You can see zoom in, you can zoom out. Okay. So it's taking to Vidisha, Bhopal, Guna, all the places, Shivpuri. So it has directly taken me to India. Now comes to the important part. What if I want to now do some search? I want to put something in the search field, and once I put and click on search, it should now take me to that location. Isn't it? A very valid and fair requirement. So I want to search for something, and when I click on search field, it should take me to that place. So for example, if I write here New York and I click on search, what should happen? It should take me to New York. But does the map understand New York? Anybody? What does the map understand? What is that a map understand? Anybody? What is that a map understand? Map only understand latitude and longitude. It doesn't understand the name. So we have to again use another API, which is called Geocoder API by Google, which gives you the coordinates. So you pass a location name and it searches the Google at runtime and it gives you the coordinate of the location. So let's go ahead and try that Geocoder API. On click of search button, we should do it. So let's come back to the view, and now we have this search field here, and what I'll do is curly braces. On search button is pressed, I will say O controller dot search my home, comma O controller. You remember JavaScript view which I taught you? You have to pass the object of the controller to be able to refer to this pointer. That's the concept we have it here. And now just come here, say search my home function. And now I'm going to use geocoder API. So there's an O event, and with this I will get what user is searching, what to search, variable O event dot get parameter of query parameter to get to know what is that user searching for. And now pump this up to geocoder API. So create a geocoder object, not SAP. It's this time Google. So usually we put new sap.ui.commons and stuff like that. This time it's Google maps.geocoder. That's my geocoder API. And I'm going to tell this geocoder API to geocode for me. I will also just create var that equals to this so that I can access my scoped variables inside of asynchronous function, because geocoder API is going to geocode and find the location, and you don't know how many minutes, seconds it will take to find the location. That's the reason you have to put it like this. In the geocode method, first you have to put address. Okay, you have to put address here, and inside the address we will be just putting what to find, what to search, this one. So now it geocodes for you, and it calls an asynchronous function, and this asynchronous function, you will know what is that it has found with respect to this query which you input. So it gives you results as a signature of the function, and now inside of these results you will know the location. Now remember guys, what is probably common result? What do you think? Is result is an array, or it will give you single record? Anybody? Will results be an array, or will it be a single record? So when you search something on the map, what do you think? Obviously it's an array. Let me take an example. If you come here and put Punjab, now is Punjab only there in India? Anyone? Do you think Punjab is only there in India? Is Punjab only there in India? No. Punjab is also there in Pakistan. Punjab is also there in Canada. There is a mini Punjab in Canada, right? So system, what system does, what the geocoder API does, it checks overall the Punjab inside of the world location, and it finds the best suitable matches, all of them, and it's going to return that inside of this an array to you in these results. So what you do is, I will right now take the first element of this array. So I say my LOC equals to results of 0th element. I'm taking the first most favorable results which Google find for me wherever it is, and then I'm just again creating LOC with latitude and longitude inside. So LAT and comma LNG, latitude and longitude. And now I'm going to call this my LOC, which it has got me, dot geometry dot location dot lat function. This gives me the latitude of the location, and then lng longitude of the location. So you see, this is how we take help of geocoder to find out the latitude and longitude of a particular location, which is human readable. You can't expect your user to give you the coordinates every time. They will just enter some location. Okay, and now we just change our map to center, this new location. To access now this global variable, we have to use that pointer because we are inside of an asynchronous function. So we have to use that dot omap dot set center, and we just pass in the LOC inside of this location we are passing in this. And then we are also maybe just change the zoom size. No, not really necessary to change the zoom size. I'm just making it change to just make it look much better. That's it, guys. We are done. Let's come back and experience the world-class feature of Google Map, absolutely free of cost, offered by Google. And now see, anybody tell me your city which you love, your hometown or a city which you visited, you love it. Just tell me something in India. Anyone, tell me whatever you like, I'll search it for you. Pune, you want to search Pune? I just come and search for Pune, click on search. Nothing is happening, it's not searching Pune, it's not working. Press F12 and see what went wrong. You see there's an error, google.maps.geocoder is not a constructor. So there is some problem. Yes, there is some problem. So which place it has got this error? This dot geocoder. I think there's a typo which I've done. Inside of geocoder, C is small, guys. That's the reason it's not working. Let me refresh and we'll give a try once again for Pune. So maybe I just drop it to Nepal, and from Nepal directly to Pune I will take you. So I search for Pune and I click on search, and voila. Is this the right place, Udit? Is this what you were looking for, Pune? Do you see all the city names which are nearby? Yes, it is taking you to Pune. Tell me any famous place in Pune which you love. Or maybe I search for Agra, search, and you see that's Agra. What is Agra famous for? Anybody? What is Agra famous for in the world? Anybody? What is Agra famous for? Taj Mahal. So let's search for Taj Mahal in Agra, comma Agra, enter. And you see just loads it. However, you don't really see where is the Taj Mahal in whole of this map, because system is, with this user will not that get that great experience, because it loaded Agra. However, it didn't tell me the position of Taj Mahal within Agra. Is it telling me where is Taj Mahal within Agra? It loaded Agra, but it doesn't tell me where is Taj Mahal in Agra. So what do you think? What is that? When you use the map as a user, you see something beautiful, something usable, which tells you which is the exact location. Anybody, have you ever used maps? So what is the map tells you usually when you search for a location? It gives you this little tiny location indicator or a mark. Okay, that mark is called marker, guys, and that's also can be created using Google Map API, marker API. So you can exactly tell on a particular map area, mark a particular location if its coordinates are known to you, and that's called marker API. Let me just use that now. So here itself we already identified location for anything which we search for. And I'm now going to use new google.maps.marker API. This will mark a location for you and then say map and say this that dot map. So where to mark? So on this map, what to mark? Position. Which position? LOC position. So on this map, this position should be marked. Okay. What the title should give? You should give a title. Okay, sorry, not this. Just yeah. What the title I want to give? Some title if I want to give. I want to give maybe that same title as what to search. That's the title I want to give. Save this. We're done. Marker API is in action. Let's come back. Keep this in root. Now search for Taj Mahal Agra. Do a search. Do you see now a beautiful tiny marker which tells me exactly on the map inside of Agra where is the Taj? Let's zoom in and you see it's exactly taking you to the Taj Mahal. See? That's your marker API magic, guys. Very, very helpful for end users to identify. And now see magic. I drag this user. Okay. I drag this user from here and put it. And wow, Taj. A 3D view of the Taj Mahal right in front of your screen. You can visit any place in whole of the world quite easily just by sitting on your desktop with Google Map API, guys, with SAP Fiori Google Map integration. Amazing, isn't it? The Taj Mahal. And maybe I can just walk into the street quite easily. It's walkable. You see, it's walking in. You're going more and more and more close to Taj Mahal. Wow. It's just like a 3D travel. Very easy. A complete 3D travel. Okay. There's auntie sitting over there. Okay. So it's a complete 3D travel, guys, to any location. Any other location you can tell me in the world, I can take you here. So maybe my favorite ISKCON, Mumbai. And there is ISKCON Mumbai. Just zooming in. This is ISKCON Mumbai. And I just quickly drag and drop to ISKCON Mumbai, and there you go. ISKCON Temple Mumbai, guys, on your screen. Amazing place. Okay, maybe I want to go to Vrindavan. Yeah, maybe yes. Let's try that out. So maybe uh, Radha Raman. Search for that, and there you go. It takes you to this place directly. An amazing place, must visit in life at least once. And you can see directly taking me to that place. You can drag and drop. If the pictures are available, it's going to show you a 3D view of that particular location. However, for this place, I don't think so pictures are yet available. Maybe we can just watch out some temple where some pictures are available. Not really sure. There's so many amazing places here, but no pictures at this point of time. However, yet it's completely possible. If there's something, you can quickly get into it and look at the pictures for that. Clear, everyone? So that's your Google Map integration, guys. Google Map integration for you in SAP Fiori. Clear? Any questions before we close today's class? Output mesmerize us, but in order to achieve the output, you need to do hard work. You need to go step by step, and then following these steps, you will be able to achieve and give an amazing experience to your end users with Google Map integration. Great. So with that, it's a wrap on today's class. In tomorrow's class onwards, we will start with OData services. So watch out the session. The real game starts from tomorrow. Integration with OData services. What is OData? That's what I will introduce you. So can you explain ORM? That's already explained, Swami, in the last class. I think you did not attended the last class. Please watch out the video for ORM object. ORM is a renderer object which talks to the browser and tell the browser what to display onto the UI. So that's what I had explained in the last class. What is ORM? You can also find that in the PPT. So if I just quickly go to the PPT, you can see here I explained in this PPT what is ORM, what is O control, how to create a custom control, the complete syntax, everything I've taught it. So please just watch quickly the video of the last session, which you missed it. I have a doubt in multiple page navigation. No problem. Please unmute your line. We can have a quick look at it. I have another 5 minutes to watch. Yes, please. Share your screen.
Hi, Anubhav. I need to
Yeah,
share my screen, Anubhav.
yeah, sure. I'll give you the presenter rights. Please go ahead. You have the presenter rights. You can now share your screen. Yeah, we can see your screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Anubhav. I just created a project in HCP, HANA Cloud Cockpit.
Okay.
So I'm running this as a Fury Launchpad,
Okay.
like a, so in this, Anubhav, these are all like a separate views. Like for example, this one tile will belongs to a separate view.
hmm I think you
So
have you have created your custom launchpad to look like
yes,
you feel of a real launchpad.
yeah, it's just a
It is not
trial,
real launchpad.
Anubhav.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I know, Anubhav. So if I click here, I can navigate to the next page by giving this. So I'm navigating like a page by page. If I do a back, I need to come back like in this back button also. It's not working, Anubhav.
Okay.
This button.
No problem. Show me your Fury app code and take me to the view where you have the app code.
Oh, that means the app view you're saying?
Not app view. The view which you loaded where you were seeing on click of the tile, it was loaded a view, right?
Yes, you want that is the main controller. So here only I'm navigating based upon the path I'm giving this as
Right,
a main.
right. So here, uh, this main controller, which is the corresponding view,
Main view.
factory campaign. I think factory campaign is the view where you are navigating.
Yes.
So what is the controller for factory campaign? Now, one second, one quick point. In your
Mm-hmm.
page, at your page
Uh-huh.
level, where is the event handler for navback? I don't see that. There is no event handler you have put for navback on your page. That we have to add it first. So
Oh,
that's a
so
very
that's what. Yeah.
so do one thing,
Yeah. As you.
no problem. At the page level, okay, you are at the page level, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
So go to the yeah, that's correct only. So here now at the page level, you put one
Mhm.
event handler
Okay.
and
Uh-huh.
it's called a nav button press. Okay, nav button press. Put nav button press n small.
Oh.
No, not here. Wait.
Oh,
Go,
okay.
go to the view. Go to the XML view,
Okay.
and here at the page
Okay.
object level, line number 5.
Uh-huh.
After tooltip, press enter. After tooltip, press enter.
Okay. Okay.
I want to see if there's something else after. No, nothing is there. Fine. So after show footer true, put nav
Uh-huh.
button press. That is the event for navigating back. Okay. Nav button press. N small, and I mean just follow JavaScript naming convention. Nav button
Okay.
press you have to use. Event name is nav
Oh,
button
okay.
press. Nav button press is the event name. Nav button press.
Like this?
Yes. Follow JavaScript
Okay.
naming convention.
Yes.
Yes. Follow JavaScript naming convention. Nav button press. And now put an event name equals to,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, on nav back. You put it on nav back. Okay.
Correct?
You put it on nav back already.
Yes.
Okay.
The event.
Now on nav back, go to the implement a new event handler for this on nav back.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to actually now go ahead and write a code. So this dot history dot go,
Okay.
type this dot history dot go -1 inside parenthesis.
History. Okay, okay, Anubhav. I will get this, Anubhav, because this. Okay, you are saying like history dot go back -1, right, Anubhav?
No, I'll put the code in the chat window. You copy paste that.
Okay,
Just to navigate to the previous path, we have to use this.
okay,
It's window.history.go.
okay,
You're doing little wrong. After 29th line, remove this point
o-
first of all.
okay.
Put
This
curly
one.
braces. Put curly braces at the end.
Okay,
Correct. And put -1 instead of -2,
okay.
which will go to the previously available. Are you using router for navigation? If you are, then this will work. If you are not, then you have to use first router.
Yes, I'm using the router only,
Okay, router also
Anubhav.
has, see, this is option number one to navigate back. Option number two is this dot get router dot nav back. The router also gives you a, ready to use method to go back to the previous route. With that also it will work. With
Okay,
this also it will work. Both are available. This is a method of JavaScript. The one which I'm telling,
mhm,
this dot get or router dot back something, I don't remember the method name. You get to check the documentation, and that's a
okay,
router method to navigate back. However, both are okay. Now you can test it.
okay.
So you could have checked a UiFi SDK for this, because
Yes.
UiFi SDK already has this details about what is implementation for back button. Is it working? Not
See,
work?
and this. So okay. If I'm navigate to the second page, then it's working, Anubhav.
Actually, in that method only we have to try the code. Let me just check. There's a lot of code available. Let me just check that. Yeah, I got one more code snippet that should work fine for us. Okay, in your scaffolding, in your
Uh huh.
scaffolding. Okay, I got the code actually. I got the complete code now. So in your scaffolding, put this
Hmm.
dependency. I'll give you the link. Open that link. You
Okay.
are ready to use code. Just understand that code and paste it yourself. This is the
Yes.
link. SAP
Mm-hmm.
documentation, routing back, and history. You see, come down.
Okay.
This is the first link when I search on Google. See, they are also showing this nav button press or nav back. What should happen when you click on nav button press? And below that, you see they are taking a ready to use SAP UI core routing history dependency class, and then they are using
Okay.
history.get instance, and then get to previous hash and
Okay.
go back.
Okay. Okay. Anubhav. So you are saying like use this one, right?
Yeah.
And then using this
Use this
scaffolding,
whole
I need
code
to add.
as it is. As it is, you copy paste this code, it will work.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Anubhav.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
If it doesn't work, get back to me. It will work for sure.
Sure.
Hmm?
Sure. Sure, Anubhav. Thank
You
you.
know the router concept, so that's why copy paste. Do copy paste now because you know the concepts of router.
Okay. Okay, Anubhav.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. So that's it for the day. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. We'll start with OData chapter. Have a nice day. Goodbye.